What is going on, guys? It's Reflex here, and it is 78 days until the release of Kingdom Hearts 3, and I realize that this video is a little bit late because a lot of people's already done their trailer analysis, and I was planning on doing one. You guys already heard the dang story about me being busy, but still, it's finally coming out, and by far my favorite trailer we've ever gotten. It was only 1 minute and 47 seconds, and yet the sheer amount of stuff within it was just so awesome. But let's look at everything we can see and theorize on this trailer, and if I miss anything, be sure to leave it down below. Now, I'm not the greatest at going in depth on everything and looking at every little detail, but I will give my theories on certain things that I picked up in the trailer, as well as just talk about like a little bit of everything. And the things that are like little small details like gameplay and all that, I'm not really going to go into it as much, but other stuff, yes. Now obviously for the trailer, it shows off right at the beginning some Tangled, which there's nothing really to take from. It was basically a scene from the movie, which was awesome, and it seems like it appears at the final stretch of the world, which I hope is not the case. But the same thing goes for the next thing that got revealed, which was 100 Acre Woods. It's back in the game, it's back in Kingdom Hearts 3, and it looks so good. They're doing shell shading and just the style of the world. It looks so aesthetically pleasing because it actually looks like you're in a book. Past games didn't really look like it was in a book, other than going from area to area, but this, oh, it looks like, it's just, it looks so good. And I'll get into the mini games later on in the trailer, but next we see Hayner having the most confidence ever, wanting to attack Ansem, finish the Keyblade War right there, and Penn's looking over there just like he don't even care. Like, he legitimately don't care. Hayner does this, on a regular basis. I feel like he probably hit the old lady that was running the shop, and that's why she probably ain't running the shop no more. That man drop kicked her from the window. Like, nah. I don't know what got into Hayner's head thinking he wanted to do this, but I do have a theory. Is the one thing I didn't notice that Olette, like, she's not there. She's not in the frame. I didn't see her anywhere, so maybe Ansem took her to draw them to the mansion, or maybe she's just behind a wall or something and safe and sound. I don't know. But for some reason Ansem is there waiting for them probably, or Sora and the gang, and then Hayner having to show up, call him a loser, and was about to do a dynamic entry. Literally Hayner was the the star of this whole entire trailer, and it's hilarious because so many memes came out of it, and I love every single one. But to not dwell on the whole entire Hayner topic, we're gonna go on. But we have a conversation with Demyx and Vexen, and I still wholeheartedly agree with the theory that they are both not true Nords. Now, this whole Vexen fake Norded eye contact just sounds like something that Vexen would do, and in my mind with this trailer, signs just in my head point to it being true. Because hear me out, but Demyx is speaking too freely, if that makes sense. Like, every single person that has been Norded in these trailers is talking some shit about the plan, either to Sora or each other. But the first thing we hear from Demyx is about how he's useless, a chicken, and how he, and Vexen aren't friends. He can count how many times they hung out on one hand. And literally every other person has talked about the plan except for like Marluxia, but he was kind of, his ego is still a part of him, so obviously he's talking about himself, but he's still a part of the plan too. But Demyx, his dialogue has nothing to do with the plan at all, and if we even go back to the previous trailer, Vexen says it's true, this whole plan was his idea. Now, it's pretty vague on whose plan he's talking about, because for people it's probably obvious that it's Xehanor's plan, but in my case, if you do this whole entire theory in your head, it could be someone else's, because if they're really Norded, would he be really trying to convince Demyx about if a plan was really by Xehanort? Like, no. Demyx would be on board from the jump, no questions asked, because, you would think that everyone else has been on board. Once Xigbar got Norded, he would, well, Brag, but Xigbar, he was Norded again, and he was immediately for Xehanort. He was on those Xehanort nuts, and he was ready for it. But Demyx, they're all kind of, they're too free. Now, this could all be wrong, but I seriously don't think they're Norded. Too much free will with the both of them, and for all we know, Vexen could be talking about Zexion or Ienzo's plan, because we do see Demyx paying him a visit in Radiant Garden in the computer room where Ienzo was. But for all we know, when Vexen says it's true, this whole plan is his idea, maybe he's talking about Ienzo and this whole plan of pretty much going against Xehanort. And maybe Ienzo brought up the eye contact thing, and maybe they were like, will this really work? And that's what they're talking about, I don't know. And maybe they're talking about Demyx going up against Xehanort in the final battle somehow, some way. It's just so weird. But like I said, it could all be wrong, but like I said, it's just a theory. Now, Sora talking with the Chirithy caught me off guard, and I'll be honest, I don't even know what to try to theorize about this, but I do have one thing in my head. Now, the first thing, let me get out of the way, the first thing, but I was like, oh, Sora dead, and he went into the afterlife. Like, now he's never gonna make it for dinner with his mom. Like, that was legitimately the first thing. Like, I went back to the first game, Sora, dinner's ready, that whole entire thing. But then I started thinking about it. Maybe that's Ventus's Chirithy. Maybe. Because we seen in the previous trailer, in the Monsters Inc. trailer, where Sora was talking to Ventus, and he never met him before. But for some reason, Ventus's heart reacted to it, and it made Sora say out words where he literally said Ventus, and then he was confused about himself for saying that. Maybe this is the case. Maybe he went to wherever he is. He could be in Ven's heart right now for all we know, and that's what all the puzzles are for. Obviously, if they don't have Aqua's access to Ventus, then maybe it's gonna be hard as heck, and why there's so many puzzles, making it weird as shit just to get him back. But maybe that's why Sora is so comfortable with Chirithy, because Ventus's heart is speaking for him. I mean, I realize that might sound a little stupid, I don't know, but that's my theory. But then we see our first Jack Sparrow versus Davy Jones fight, which, let me just say, this fight looks amazing. I mean, it just all looks good. They're talking about the chest, but obviously it's the chest that has to do with the movie and all that. But then we see more cool stuff with Big Hero 6, which we see Dark Baymax, obviously. But then we get to the mini games, and it resembles some game that I used to play back on a PlayStation as a kid. I don't remember what it was called, but I think I actually like these mini games for once after taking a better look at them. I mean, they seem more fun in my opinion, and just the style of them, I don't know, I think I'll enjoy them. But then they showed off some quick snippets of gameplay, you know, with Tangled, Pirates, and Twilight Town, and Pirates just take the cake on this one. Their limit just looks so badass with Jack Sparrow, and I mean, it just looks sick and clean, man. It just looks nice. But don't get me wrong, everything else looked awesome. Like Rapunzel and Flynn's limit just looked cool too, and so did the 100 Acre Woods Keyblade transformation. I think it was called the Honey Launcher, but that was pretty cool too. And I hope there's a lot of different Keyblades that might have the same type of transformation, but it transforms differently doing the same thing, if that makes sense. Like, it's more cosmetic change than anything. I mean, I think that'd be cool. Not all Keyblades, obviously, but maybe some of the, I don't know, maybe some of the, like, not really important ones do that. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, I thought it was cool. But the unknown area in the clouds, now when I seen this part, I did think that this was Kingdom Hearts, but I don't think Nomura would show this off at all, because obviously that's the definition of showing too much, in my opinion. Like, if he were to do that, I mean, that I'd agree with. But this place also did have similarities to the Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix box art, which, I mean, that's just, it looks cool. I mean, the whole place did look pretty badass, and if somehow it does resemble the box art, then Nomura's a genius. Like, he implements everything and doesn't forget about nothing. But the clones, this whole clone thing looks confusing, but obviously, like, when he goes, you know, through them, they disappear, so maybe it's a collect all clones type deal. Like I said, it could be a puzzle into Ventus's heart, which would kind of make sense, but then again, maybe not. I mean, I don't know. But it was very confusing first scene. But this next scene, though, the fight that puts the 1,000 Heartless fight to shame. I mean, we've seen everyone getting ready for this, but seeing Lee and Kairi getting ready for the fight made me so much happier, because Lee out there looking badass and determined. Like, he was like, yeah, I've been training. I'm better than this scrub Sora. I mean, I know my way around a Keyblade. But then Kairi, she got into her stance, which caught me off guard because I didn't know she was going to be ready to fight. But it made me hype because she looked just like Sora, which was awesome because she's taking notes from the best until Lee starts fighting. And I'm going to go on Lee's side, which I'm going to say if we do end up playing as Lee somehow, like that's the second playable character, which it's obviously probably not going to be. But if that was, you better know I'm going to have fun. But this fight looked extremely crazy because we're going to be fighting Unversed, Nobodies, and Heartless. And it looks a lot more than just the 1,000. And you see, back in Kingdom Hearts 2, when you had that 1,000 Heartless boss fight, there was only so many amount that could go into the fight. Like, it wasn't all of them. Like, some of them were just fakes. You know, they were just pretty much flat, you know, sprites or something like that, I heard someone say. But they weren't there, like, really. They were just kind of there, but they weren't actually models. But this game, I'm pretty sure all of them are real. If they all can fight you at once, oh my god, yeah, I'm dying a lot. Critical, yeah, probably ain't gonna beat it on that until, I don't know, a year? I don't know. It's gonna be crazy. But to make this game even more crazier, I just have a feeling that directly after this fight, there's gonna be a couple boss fights right after just to make this fight even more hard. Pause, that sounded weird. But then we got Terranor fighting Lingering Will, which brought back some PTSD, I'm not gonna lie, from the first time fighting him in KH2. But the last scene they were showing off, which what I can imagine is setting the stage for the beginning of the final battle. Now, when it showed off all 13 Secrets of Darkness, there was, you know, one that, you know, in all the group that people believed was Xion, but at this point I just think that people want Xion in the game so bad that they think everyone is Xion. Like, they were not even pointing to the shortest one on there. Like, there was another girl that was like shorter than that one, and I'm like, at least, and then some people were saying it was Aqua too, and I'm like, I mean, she's not that short. How y'all thinking this is Aqua? Like, it was so confusing. I didn't like, people just, but sometimes the theories that people make, I don't think they think about them. I mean, it could be Xion. I mean, I don't know. obviously that's what people want. And I mean, I wanted Xion to be revealed last time, but it was Data Riku, which that I never thought was gonna happen. But people that legitimately think Union Cross isn't important or recoded, yeah, you guys are in for a load of trouble. I mean, obviously I hated both games too, but I watched them enough. I know all the cutscenes and everything. I know the story, but I mean, if you do believe that none of these games, like these side games, are important, oh, you're in trouble. But for the first time, we finally got to hear Master Xehanort's voice actor for Kingdom Hearts 3, and it got mixed reviews. Some people hated it, and some people liked it. Obviously, it's going to be hard to replace Leonard Nimoy, but I don't think it's bad. I honestly don't think it's bad, because it's just a different take on Xehanort. And that's all it is. I mean, it's just a different take on Xehanort rather than an exact impression of him, which I respect the decision, I do. But I did see Mark Hamill's name thrown around that he might be the one voicing him, and I mean, it kind of does sound like him when I thought about it, but I'm not sure. But to be honest, I wish I was the one voicing him though, because I mean, if they wanted a person that could do an impression of him, I mean, I'm right here. I mean, it would have been awesome to do. I mean, I don't know how to go about auditioning for a Kingdom Hearts game. I wish I did. I would have at least tried, you know. But I mean, that would have been the toughest shoes to fill for any amateur. I'm not gonna lie, but you know, just a quick little plug, you know, shameless plug. But expect one guy and one girl dubs this trailer and maybe the Tango trailer. But I just wanted to wait. That's why it took so long, just in case another trailer dropped, which I mean it did. But yeah, just expect that. I don't know when, but sooner than later. I mean, I gotta learn Winnie the Pooh. I gotta learn, I mean, obviously I'm gonna do Master Xehanort, you know, Leonard Nimoy's version, but then I gotta also learn Flynn Rider. So there's a few other voices I gotta learn before I can actually finish that, but it will happen. But the final thing I took from this is the look of the final place where the battle takes place. It looks pretty damn similar to where Roxas was shown at the end of the Big Hero 6 trailer, which is awesome. And if that's the case, that just leaves one question: is he there to help or destroy? But you let me know down in the comment section below your thoughts about this. Do you agree with some of the theories I said? Do you think they're so far-fetched that they don't work? Do you believe them at all? What's your guys' theories if you have one for your own? I mean, just let me know all your thoughts down below. But if you guys did enjoy this video, leave a like, subscribe, and you guys know the drill. I will see you guys later.